All right, moving on. We got another. I mean, look. Oh, excuse me.
Bro,
Look, we're gonna talk
about. You guys
about.
hyped this up so much, bro.
Everybody-
I went to the theater, bro.
Oh, we're sorry for making you to go to the cinema.
For a film that needs to be
okay.
watched at the cinema.
So-
we're talking about James Cameron's Avatar: The Way of Water, and starring Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Stephen Slang. Mr. Slang, shout out to Slang. We have to talk to Slang when he came to El Paso. He's like,
What's
No, he's not gonna want to talk to me. So.
He's the coolest dude ever. We couldn't get him on the podcast, but he wanted to be on the podcast. I swear, his words, not mine. He just was here for like one day, but we'll get him on. We'll get him on soon. And if you haven't watched Old Man, go check out Old Man, El Paso
on AMC
director,
Plus.
On AMC Plus, and I think it's on Shudder too, or it's gonna be
What's
on
an
Shudder.
AMC Plus?
Yeah. So go watch Old Man, starring Stephen Lang, directed by Lucky McGee. Shout out to Lucky. We'll get Lucky on the podcast soon too.
So,
But yeah, Stephen Lang, Sigourney Weaver playing a 14-year-old, man, which is really great. But ratings.
well, I was gonna say the nominations for Avatar were Best Achievement in Sound,
Only 4?
Best Achievement in Visual Effects, Best Motion Picture of the Year, and Best Achievement in Production Design.
I think they got too many.
Do you want me to do the elevator pitch for it?
Yeah, sure. Give
Okay.
the one-liner.
So, elevator pitch for it. We're back at it with Jake Sully, seeing the continuation of James Cameron's Avatar universe.
So definitely continue. But in real time.
In real time.
In real time.
In real time.
What do you mean?
Yeah, like years has passed since we first saw the film. Years
16,
has
yeah,
passed in the
whatever.
universe as well.
What,
So
like
it's
15 this
16,
year?
Yeah.
16.
Yeah.
16.
So 16 years they have kids. They go through. So like that's what I mean in real time. It didn't continue from where it left off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like real time passed, just like
Oh,
us,
okay, yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah. So,
I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
dude, you didn't
Wow,
have
that's
to do
crazy.
that.
Sure.
Aw, buddy.
Bro, he just wanted some camera time, dude.
Avatar, right?
I don't.
Oh, let me see your water
Well,
bottle.
not that I don't like it. It's just.
All right. Let's
No,
talk. Let's talk.
so, yeah.
Ratings.
What happens in Avatar?
Okay, so just to finish it off, we're continuing the adventure with Jake Sully and his wife.
That's pretty much it. Oh, my bad.
Neytiri.
No, yeah. What's her name?
Neytiri.
Natiri.
Natiri.
They've had kids. They've developed a strong relationship in the tribe. But now the Sky people are back. And I mean, I know that for a lot of people who haven't seen Avatar since the first one, they might feel like, I never needed a second one. There's no reason to go watch it. I think there's this wonderful continuation. There's wonderful father and son dynamics that happen between both Jake Sully and the Sky people general guy. But
And not only do they have 3 kids of their own, but they also adopt basically what Sigourney Weaver's character's
Right.
daughter is, her avatar's daughter. It's funky, but it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
And the kid, the human too.
Spider.
Spider kind of becomes part of the
the-
tribe, even though Neytiri
Yeah.
very much fights against the whole
and
thing. And
essentially, Sky people are back. They want to kind of kill Jake Sully for the crimes that happened in the first Avatar film, and we start to see a little bit more of the world. And this explores the water tribe of the Na'vi, and which is super interesting. That's a big talking point. The fact that they explore the water tribe, just because so much had to be done for this film to, I guess, kind of like film it.
Before we get into ratings, when the first Avatar came out, naturally the advancements in 3D and shooting 3D were amazing. But what's even more amazing is, I love that James Cameron describes it this way. Every blade of grass in Pandora was digital, and by the same token, every drop of water, every animal, everything was digital. They shot on the soundstage in the UK, New Zealand, I think.
Yeah.
And geez, man, it's beautiful. That's why we say watch it in theaters. Watch it either in 3D or like
I watched it in 3D, and I can
If
see
you
why,
can.
but I just find it kind of cheap, the 3D.
Okay.
You
'Cause
found the
because-
3D cheap.
No, I see
didn't
what they're-
see it in 3D. So
Well,
I
okay.
see what they're trying to do, but mostly 3D is being used like, you know how when you blur a camera?
Oh no,
That's what they're using the 3D for.
But-
or little droplets. It's
Well-
like, that's beautiful, but it's like, I'm going to take
get
this
into
lights
it.
off. dude.
Okay, so Castro, shoot out a number. What is it? What did it say?
I was feeling.
It's just done with you, dude.
Look, it was nicely, beautifully filmed and everything.
It's okay. Honest rating.
Just give your numbers. 'Cause I
Alright.
have questions.
So if I
We
have
got
to
15
give it a number, because they're always asking, and I know Austin,
Wow.
And you get mad at me.
I'll give it a freaking 7.1.
7.1.
Whoa.
Hey,
Third highest.
if you guys
grossing
know,
film of all time.
that's considered good. Like good.
Fair.
Intern, kick his ass.
Okay, number.
Shit, man. I'm not gonna go as high. I like no. I'm gonna go further than an 8. But
I'm not with this guy.
I'm at like an 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah. Comparatively, again, we're talking about comparing it to the other.
Okay.
How about hold on before we go? Okay, never mind. What would you rate the first one then?
Oh, that's a good question.
I mean, when I
Because
saw
the first one, I really liked it, but I was just like,
I like this one better than the first one.
Yeah,
Very-
definitely.
very
oh
so,
man,
very
I
much
just
so.
like the whole original.
But we'll talk about that right now. Austin, rating.
8.5 for me.
Honest, bro.
It's been like 3 months since I've seen it. I'd give it a soft 8.9.
Okay,
Wow.
soft 8.9. Miguel, Avatar, Way of Water.
A good 8.7.
8.7. Have you seen this one?
An 8.7. Yeah, I've seen it.
Did you fall asleep?
Huh?
Wow.
No more than 4 times.
I think I saw it 3 times at the movie theater.
Wow.
I only got to see it the once, but we saw it in a
Screen
screen.
X.
Skip
Screen
break
X
is
is the
through
way
it.
to go, man.
De
James
la O.
Cameron, by the way, yeah, give your.
I have too much respect for this film. 9.25.
9.25, fair. It was beautifully done, man. Beautifully
Yeah.
done.
No, it
James
was
Cameron-
for sure.
James
King
Cameron
of
has
sequel.
dedicated his life to furthering the technology of cinema and specifically 3D cinema and CGI. And my gosh, man, this man could be off selling on a yacht or deep diving the ocean for the Titanic for the 20th time. And,
Yeah.
and though he does do those things, he's adamantly working on stories and playing. By the way, making Hollywood his bitch at the same time because he knows he's going to make his money back, and he knows he has
2.2
full
billion.
control of making this picture. But saying, if it does well, then I'll make the next sequel. It's already written. It's already ready to go. That's ballsy, man. Like, even in his juncture.
No,
like,
and I remember when the film came out, the big talking point was that it needed to be either 4th or 3rd
Of all
highest
time,
grossing
yeah.
of all time,
And then second
just to
now,
make
right?
even.
That's first, no?
2.29 billion.
First? It's in
Yeah.
first place, yeah. He beat himself for Titanic.
Doesn't he own like the top 3?
Yeah.
Which is the third one? Titanic.
Both Avatars
Well,
and
Avatars and
Titanic.
Titanic.
Oh shit.
But I think the
Endgame
big
in there,
and
mixed in there, but the first Avatar is
Endgame,
still number
yeah.
1.
The first Avatar is still number 1?
so he's number.
Re-released it.
So this is number 2.
Yeah, no, this is number 3.
Yeah.
And Titanic's 2?
Titanic is 4, I think.
Yeah,
So
so
Endgame.
Endgame.
Endgame's
No,
2.
no, but he passed Endgame.
Yeah,
Endgame is
for the
2,
first
the
Avatar.
first
Oh,
So
the first
Endgame's
Avatar.
3, Titanic's 4.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I see. Okay, yeah. So James Cameron just basically competed with himself most of the time,
Yeah.
especially that he's the box office king, man.
But this is all he's been doing, or has he been doing something else?
No,
I mean, he's been producing. He
He's
produced Alita with for Rodriguez.
But directing, he's been at this for a while, no? Like this
He
is
did.
his
They
baby.
recorded 2 and 3 back to back.
in 17, and then
They did spend like I think 6 months or something like that with the actors actually in like diving school.
Look,
to
yeah.
practice.
No, I think it was a full year.
Yeah,
It
no,
was full
this
year.
this film was in production for ages.
Not just that, by the way, but people. This is what I hate about society sometimes. People bitch about when something like this takes as long as it does for a proper sequel,
nah.
and then there's so much more forgiving of, like, for instance, like animation, man. Avatar, just comparatively, Pixar takes. They've gone on record with this. Pixar takes 3 years to make one film, sometimes more. 3 years.
That's a lot.
Is it? I mean, like, that's my point. Like, Avatar is going to take the amount of time it takes.
No, not a lot, like, but that's, more than your typical.
More than your typical just
Yeah,
live action whatever
exactly.
film, right? Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. I mean, like, if you give something its proper time, these are the results.
Exactly.
Like,
I 100% agree with
Not
you.
only that, but we're about to get the third one this year.
next year.
Oh,
It's
so
2020.
24?
It's 24.
They pushed it.
Yeah, it's the special effects. Ultimately, that's the big.
Yeah.
And I mean,
And then we're going to wait another 10 years for the fourth one.
that's
I
the
mean,
thing. I mean,
Okay. Well, my big thing
I have
with-
questions. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, don't you think the story is too common?
No, that's
No.
what I was gonna ask you. Like, you didn't.
They have
appreciate
kids,
the
then they
spot-
get kidnapped because they're on the wrong side of the town.
no, but I mean, that's
I'm simplifying it. It's a really good, but that's just the basic. Like
You felt like it was-
something.
you feel like you've seen this before.
There was this whole dynamic between like
It's
father
beautiful.
and son and connecting with kids and all that, and then also the really interesting kind of twist, which not to spoil too much into it,
I like
but
the-
how there's another father and son dynamic playing in the background, and
I like that. I like that.
and for
Slang
me
and spider.
Yeah.
to think that this is going to be growing, like the franchise is going to be getting bigger.
Right.
To me, it was enough to revamp it. Where now I'm eager to see the third one.
I will say,
Or-
Castro, I'm with you in the sense that I wanted to hate what they did because I thought, oh wow, okay, Steven's no. I mean like Stephen Lang's character, like, oh okay, he got copied into an Avatar, like, oh how original. Yeah. But I didn't hate it. I accepted it really fast.
Okay. This is the better one. I know you guys respect the how of the behind the scenes, what it took to make it.
Yeah.
Stop being biased from that. Like, just the film alone.
As a
I know you
standalone
respect the whole thing. Like,
story-wise,
I think like you described this just off camera at some point while we were talking about it during the week, and I think it's true. In terms of being an epic, we don't throw that word around anymore in cinema. Being an epic, we're talking about Spartacus. We're talking about these fucking massive pictures that took a lot to make. But when you see the picture, like, it needed to be told in this forum. There's no other way Avatar could have been told, right? So I think just as an epic, if we're talking about genres, right? As an epic, it's amazing. Like in story and everything and directing, I think it's an epic.
Everything was good except the story.
Wow.
I can put it like that.
What
I like
exactly
the directing.
about the story bug you?
It's to comment. The way I simplified it, I could simplify that type of story. A 3-hour film, I just simplified it.
3.5.
But I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying,
no, I hear you.
The only part I thought
I guess I'm being a little. So my bad. I guess I'm a little biased because I just don't like sequels that eventually go into like, all right, The Offspring. That's why I love the originals, because it's like, wow, the mystery. Like, how did they become avatars? That's why original is so good, because of the mystery. Now the mystery is gone. We got kids. It's like,
I will say this though.
They're just trying to extend the story.
I think that the problem here is,
and I know there's
what's important to note though is the arc isn't about the kids. The arc is going to be about Sully for however many films we get.
For sure.
I think the overlying arc of him becoming a dad, sure, is one of the aspects, but him basically starting from scratch again. Okay, I barely got accepted by this tribe, and I got to fucking book it and try to get accepted by the next tribe. And they know my reputation. They know my blood isn't pure. They know my kid's blood isn't pure because
they
of
know
it.
that he brings danger. And that was one of the big things that
reputation precedes him. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that arc, the Jake Sully arc, is pretty impressive. Like, it is really impressive. In terms of, look, I'll be the first to say, I'm not the biggest fan of Terminator. I'm not the biggest fan. I love Titanic for what it is. I tear that film apart because there's a lot of flaws. There's a lot of flaws, especially in the dialogue, man. I hate Titanic's dialogue. What? I don't like James Cameron's dialogue. And in this film, I loved it, man.
You hated it in the first one.
I hated it in the first Avatar. I hated the dialogue in that film. And this film really just pushed it for me. And by the way, I'll say this.
There were moments, though, that the dialogue couldn't have been stronger.
It fell short.
There were some times when I think they needed to be expositional.
Correct me if I'm wrong. He had one more co-writer? I agree. That might have been what helped it, because Cameron has a standalone writers, not
Rick Java.
Yeah, Rick Java. Okay, so he had a co-writer, but when
7
more co-writers for this one. Yeah, I mean,
Amanda Silver.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's why you felt the story was.
Yeah, it was.
But I mean, to be fair, he has the entire Avatar storyline planned out through, I think, what is it, 5 films?
Oh, I think it's 7. I think it's 7.
No, and he has this all like.
Yeah, that Toro's seen it.
That Toro was the one that kind of like put it out. Was like Cameron took him to his office and literally walked him through the entire 7 films.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this has been planned out for 20 odd years.
I'll say this.
Okay.
Watching it, you can feel the care. You can feel so much care. This doesn't feel like a
not just in the visual effects.
I'm not saying it
not
does.
Just in the visual effects,
no,
but
I'm
in
just
the
saying, like,
for
me, I'm not. This isn't an attack toward you. I'm just saying.
It feels like.
Go outside. Okay, I'll say.
Okay. I'm gonna go on record and say this. I'm gonna go on record on the WatchTower podcast. I think James Cameron is the best world builder in cinema. I don't think it's Peter Jackson anymore. I don't think it's any. I think Cameron knows how to build worlds amazingly.
Yeah.
What about JK?
Yeah, JK.
Or we're not going to mention her name on this podcast.
What's going on, man? Harry Potter.
I don't know, man. We didn't go into a different planet. Like, he had to world build multiple worlds at this point, and like what became the Earth, and where we're at now, and
George.
No, I'll give you that. I was about to say.
Fuck Lucas.
Nah, see? Stop putting your emotions into this,
dude,
bro.
He did half the work. Sure, he invented the characters and he put us in a couple of ships, but everybody else did the work for him, man. Andor is not George Lucas. Like anything that's recent in the past in the past 20 years, it's not George Lucas. It's not Lucas, man. He's not the world builder. It's not fair. James Cameron single-handedly did it himself.
I will say that.
He did it for the past 20 years. It wasn't somebody else building Cameron's world. It was Cameron.
I think it goes to show how skilled he is at building worlds when you go and look at like
and how easy it kind of is for him, man.
The animals, the plants, and the way that they interact with all of them. And then even like when they came into this new tribe, there was this really well done pacing of as they're learning how to be part of the water tribe, you're also learning about all the challenges they face.
It puts you in it immerses you. Let me ask you this.
That's pretty good.
Let me ask you this. Apart from it actually immersing you, like, do you feel compelled by any of these characters?
I do, but I guess not as much as you guys.
Okay.
Because I've seen it before, so it's like, all right, I feel sympathy for these people and all this, but it's just like, I thought it was gonna be. I was hoping it was gonna be something different. When I told you guys, it looks like it's just a family type.
Family sequel.
And the performances don't get you, Custom? Like, for example, Sigourney Weaver, dude.
That's what I was. Yeah, I guess let me say this. It's just a little more subtle. I guess I'm more used to
Let me throw this out there. I love that James Cameron makes this evident. He says, "I hate when people call this motion capture. That we call this performance capture."
Performance capture.
And
I just think well, this is gonna sound weird, but I just think we're still not there because you don't see the same gestures.
But you do though. Have you seen the behind the scenes?
Close, yeah.
No, for sure. You have a bunch of dots, but you don't get the same.
No, you do.
No, you really do.
Yeah.
Watch the behind the scenes for it.
Dude, I genuinely
like they've done side by sides, like where I've seen it.
I've seen it.
But I mean, from your perspective, you still think it's not there.
It's
like,
not full.
No. It's there, but not like it still needs a little bit because I just
I get that.
All right.
The little
But that's
I foresee this film taking visual effects, maybe
for sure. No,
visual effects, maybe sound.
If it doesn't give visual
effects, I want it to win visual
upset.
effects. I will be so upset.
Effects for sure.
No,
Any other notes about Avatar? And by the way,
little fun fact.
Yeah,
I think you might know this regarding Sigourney Weaver, that they tried to do like a pickup or like voice for her, and she couldn't do it because she couldn't pull herself back into that character.
Yeah.
Because she like transformed
into a
14-year-old to play the part.
Yeah.
And then when they had to go back to get more, she couldn't do it because she pulled herself out of that character.
By the way, in terms of performance, I didn't know that was Kate Winslet until like way later.
Oh yeah,
she did amazingly, man.
Did you
talk about Titanic?
Did you see the behind the scenes?
She was the queen. I don't know the queen
of the water Navi.
Queen of the water Navi.
Oh,
that was Kate Winslet.
Wow.
I'm telling you, dude.
Kate Winslet. They did spend, I think you're right, a year doing deep sea diving courses or like free soloing courses because. They needed to not only, be able to swim in water and all that, but they need to be able to
hold their breath.
So comfortable in water that they could act underwater and they could have emotions and everything. Because
I love all that aspect.
By the way, Sigourney and Kate broke the records in the cast and crew. Like they held their breath the longest underwater.
Kate specifically had like the longest.
They got competitive with it.
Yeah, like everybody would kind of be like, "Oh, how long did you hold your breath?" Or "How long did you hold your breath?"
Pretty
but
sure.
they did like I think
it was
over
like
5 minutes.
Yeah, I think it was 3, but you're maybe right. Maybe
it
it 5?
was over 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's the same.
So
by the way, we can talk about every one of these picks. They're probably going to end up being their own episodes down the line.
You made that comment the other day that every single one of these.
I should have, I should have prefaced this episode by that. Every one of these picks we could go on and on, but we want to make sure and be respectful of time here. But Avatar, I think, is amazing. If you didn't, it's still in theaters. Go watch it. It's still in theaters. You know how impressive that is, especially because of the pandemic and how bad the pandemic was for cinemas. It's impressive for this shit to still be in theaters. So
still be at the full price theaters.
At the full price, yeah. Because it's we're in March, man. This thing released in December. It's having a 4-month run. That doesn't happen anymore with the streaming era. It doesn't happen anymore. Go watch it in the theaters.
Just don't watch it in 3D.
Yeah, you can watch it in standard. It's fine as long as you watch it in the theaters. And if you can watch it in Screen X, even better.